Shalom, shalom, Yisrael. This is Yehonatan Dawid with you here once again, humbly so. I thank you for tuning in. This is so-called August the 9th, 2020. I want to start off by talking about Viva House. Okay? Viva House is a charity, a Catholic charity, and started in 1968. I'm going to read their little manifesto. I'm not going to read everything, but it says, we offer the hospitality of a soup kitchen and food pantry. We also work with our neighbors in Southwest Baltimore to meet their needs. Viva House also tries to resist the works of war, that which causes people to be hungry, homeless, unemployed, and short on hope. We believe endless war, the stockpiling of nuclear weapons, military madness, our unbridled technology, and our deadly exploitation of the poor in Baltimore and throughout the world are issues that must be made visible. Our resistance and witness is nonviolent in the spirit of, they say, Jesus, Gandhi, King, and Day. Viva House is not an agency. No one is paid a salary. We are part of a movement that believes the future will be different only if we make the present different. So they have a food pantry. You can give donations of, I came by and donated some money, and I plan to do so again. But there you go, Viva House. And 26 South Mount Street, okay? So try to help out. Today we're going to talk about the two witnesses, Shenee, Edeem, and the Shalosh Malakeem. Two witnesses and three angels' message. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about today. But I want to begin with the parable of the rich man and Lazarus, who are in Abraham's bosom, and that is found in Luke 16. I'm not going to read the entire chapter of Luke. So please, when you get a chance to do so, I'm going to breeze through it here. So we're going to Luke 16. No servant can serve two masters, because either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. Now the Pharisees, who were lovers of money, also heard all these things, and they derided him. And he said to them, you are those who justify yourselves before men, but Yahweh knows your hearts, because what is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of Yahweh. And it is easier for heaven and earth to pass away than for one tittle of the law to fail. Then Yahweh goes into the parable. And being in torment in Hades, he, the rich man, lifted up his eyes and saw Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. Then he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, because I am tormented in this flame. So then the answer is, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that those who want to pass from here to you cannot, nor can those from there pass to us. Then he said, I beg you therefore, Father, that you would send him to my father's house, because I have 5 brothers, that he may testify to them, lest they also come to this place of torment. Abraham said to him, they have Moshe and the Nabayim. Let them hear them. And he said, no, Father Abraham, but if one goes to them from the dead, then they will repent. But he said to him, if they do not Shema Moshe wa Nabayim, neither will they be persuaded, though one rises from the dead. So that's where I want to start from. And now, first off, in this parable, we have Yahweh versus Mammon. Now, Mammon is riches, but our mindset, our mental scheme of riches is totally different than what the reality of what riches were when Yahweh Shua was saying it. That's because we use how we think today where we are. And that's the same thing we do about anything when we're reading the Bible. But we shouldn't. This is why we really don't understand what baldness is. Baldness does not just mean a clean-shaven head, like Michael Jordan or Telly Savalas. I know I'm dating myself when I use that name. But baldness also is a closely shaved head, a shorn head, especially if it's a woman. A shaved head or closely shorn head is baldness to Yahweh and to any Hebrew back then. Another word is nakedness. I'm showing my arms now. That would have been considered, especially if it's a woman, showing arms, nakedness. If we were to go to the supermarket and we see a woman walking to the supermarket with shorts on and a tank top or a midriff shirt or a beater and wearing flip-flops, we would not consider her to be naked. But biblically, she will be naked. So the same thing is true with riches. We got to not look at things from our point of view of what nakedness is, what baldness is, or what riches are. Look at it from Yahweh's perspective. We are rich. I'm here not working today. I'm off today, but I'm planning on eating today. Our mindset of riches has changed, different than what they said it was back then. The standard prayer that Yahweh Shua gave us when we asked, teach us how to pray, he said, give us this day our daily bread. This day. So that means every day we should have faith in Yahweh Shua for our sustenance. Remember, Yisrael, when they were in the wilderness, were fed manna daily. Twice for Shabbat, though. Double portion came down for Shabbat. But they had to rely on Yahweh daily just to eat. Every day. They had that faith that next day, manna was going to come down from Hashemayim. And the manna represented Yahweh Shua. He is the bread of life. So that is not riches. That is daily, everyday, faithful living. And what do we have today? We don't have that. We got our government giving out checks to keep people afloat during this COVID crisis. We got people actually making more money under the COVID crisis by getting multiple checks now. And this is definitely going to set us up for bankruptcy, which will usher in what? The mark of the beast. The whole world is going into bankruptcy because money is supposed to be to fix the problem of COVID. Because God forbid if someone doesn't have $1 to buy and sell. So the whole thing is they want to keep the world being able to buy and sell. They're going to give us a standard unit of money we should have. That's why they're trying to stick to that $600, by the way. It's a reason why they're using that $600. A standard unit of measure they want the whole world to go by. So they can keep buying and selling. They want to manipulate everyone in buying and selling. So our idea of poverty and poor does not match the ancient Hebrew mentality of poverty and poor. The poorest among us have homes. The poorest among us go into a house every day, have TVs. Who doesn't have a cell phone? Who doesn't have a cell phone? I'm working off of a computer right now. How many TVs do we have in the house? What poor person doesn't have a closet of clothes and shoes? Yet they claim they are poor. Yet we need stimulus checks and stimulus money. Because our idea of poverty is not Yahweh's idea of poverty. We are rich and don't know it. What really is in this parable is not really mammon for living. It is Yahweh versus our comfort. Just our regular comfort. Do we really need a laptop, a new phone, or any phone? Do we need all those shoes, another car? Do we need all those clothes? One of the things I do, if I for some reason, get another pair of shoes, I like to look and see what other kind of pair of shoes I can give away. Right now in my trunk of my car, I have a big bag of clothes and shoes and stuff to give away. And nothing's wrong with them. Today I could wear them to take my wife out, or to go to work, or to go to worship on Shabbat. The clothes are nice, nothing's wrong with them. But I just consciously don't want to pile up my closet. I don't want to have I don't want to increase my storehouse. And we should not be increasing our storehouse. We don't need all the things that we have. We don't need them. Jeremiah, now one of the things that Yahweh Shua said was that Yahweh knows our heart, talking to the Pharisees, that their hearts were wicked. He says, Yahweh knows their heart. And that is one of our problems. Let's talk about this heart. Sometimes I get accused of being a little bit too harsh, too strong. No, I am a gentle puppy compared to what these prophets say and how they say it. Jeremiah 17:9 tells us that our heart is wicked above all things. He said all things. That means there's nothing created on the earth more deceitful than our heart. Our hearts they trick us, and we are deceived from understanding what is really going on. And then on top of that, he says it is desperately wicked. Not just regular wicked, desperately wicked. If you're hanging from a cliff, you are desperate for your life. You don't think about nothing else but how to get on the level surface from that cliff. The heart is desperately wicked. That means it can only focus on wickedness. It is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. So much so that Jeremiah says, who can know it? That means you, me, we don't even know the wickedness of our own hearts. That's not me saying it. Jeremiah says it. Look at chapter 17, verse 9. As such, Yahweh Shua says in Matthew 13:33 that when he talks about the parable of the seed, that some people receive the word, but they receive it with thorns. And the thorns of the world and the cares of the world gets mixed with the good message, and it chokes them with the deceitfulness of riches. See the tie-in with Lazarus. You got the desperately wicked heart that's deceived, and you got riches which are deceived. You can't serve Yahweh and Mammon. You must either seek the kingdom or you can seek the riches. You cannot have both. I keep getting phone calls here. So let's go to the next bullet point. The thing about this rich man who would not help Lazarus when he was on the top side of the dirt, now you die, now you're on the underside of the dirt, now you want to get some understanding, but it's too late. This is what he didn't do. Living his life without the discipline of the Torah. See, we can't live. I started off this segment about giving, having a heart of giving, and I don't believe in Catholicism, but I believe we should help and give. I've been fed many times growing up by people who didn't believe what I believe. I grew up poor and hungry. Father with a third grade education, mother with 11th grade education, on welfare, 6 children. I didn't matter what somebody believed. They took care of my needs with food and clothing. So today I make sure I do the same. Doesn't matter what the belief is, but James says you show your faith by your works. Read it. It's a very short letter. I think it's 5 chapters to James. So, but the rich man didn't do this while he was living. He didn't even think about Lazarus. But Lazarus ended up in the kingdom, and he ended up in Hades. And all the wealthy who have followed their deceitful hearts after the deceitfulness of riches would do the same. Yahweh Shua says to these Pharisees that heaven and earth will pass away before one jot of the Torah will pass away. One tittle, and that's the Yud. The Yud is the smallest letter of the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. And the Torah is Yahweh. So he said, heaven and earth will pass away before he passes away. That's how sure and fixed he is. That is what we should be living by today, because it is eternity. Hades. This rich man was in Hades. It is a formal place. The name of this place is Hades. That's its actual name. It's a proper pronoun. The Greek word is Hades. It means unseen, or a place or state of departed souls. It is the grave. It is hell. The root word is Ido. And that means to see, literally or figuratively, to know, be aware, be sure, understand. And to be sure, the rich man understood where he was, but it was too late. He understood where he was, and he wanted to keep his 5 brothers from going there. That's how bad it was. So one of the things that the Pharisees keep saying is they are Abraham's seed. They are Abraham's seed. But here's the problem. They don't do the works of Abraham. And Yahweh Shua knows the heart. This ministry doesn't matter if my heart isn't right. That the only focus is to give you the message of Yahweh Shua. I don't give a penny about this March on Washington they planning for the anniversary of the March on Washington, Martin Luther King. It matters not. I want us to be prepared for the March on Zion. And that's what matters. If Yahweh Shua was to come tomorrow, all your plans for marching on DC would mean nothing. As a matter of fact, if you were going to die tomorrow, would those plans mean anything? But today, you need to know this message. Today, you need to heed the message of the 2 witnesses and the 3 angels before they give it. Today, if you hear his voice, harden not your heart. If you have an ear to hear, hear it. They didn't do the works of Abraham, who was in the hall of fame of faith. Read Hebrews 11. But they want to claim to be Abraham's seed. That is not enough to get you in. You cannot get in based on your color, race, nationality, creed, none of that. It is what you do. Do the works. Give, give, give. Don't follow the deceitfulness of riches. Do not follow a deceitful heart. Then, the rich man wanted to have Lazarus dip his finger into some water and put it on the tip of his tongue. Tell me, I'm a little bit dehydrated right now. When I finish this message, I'm going to get some water. But right now, if my wife was to dip her finger into some water and put it on the tip of my tongue, that would not satisfy me. So why would I call her in here to give me a dip of water on the tip of my tongue? Why would I do that? I would want more. I would need more. So why is the rich man asking for the water when it's not going to be enough? Because really, he can't repent. Because really, that's not what he needs. What he needed was, when he was on the top side of the dirt, was to be humble and to give and to follow the works of Abraham. That's what he needed to do. Because what the lost have and what they want is not enough. And they will always want more. That's why not even one soul is going to be permitted to make it to Hashmayim, into the eternal kingdom, because they will defile it. Heaven is not enough for the damned. Heaven is not enough for the lost. Heaven is not enough. They will always, always want more. Hashatan was in heaven. Was it good enough for him? No, it was not. Y'all wait for Christians at gmail.com. Yahonatan Dawid with you here.